What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and welcome back to another episode of Closing Belle. And my energy is at an all-time high because we have a good friend of mine. We go way back. They call us the engineers. UL1BARRI will be joining us shortly, the main man in Mexico, and we're gonna talk about team of the season snubs. What else could you ask for? Oh, on a side note, also 5 ways that you can win more games if you don't get the premium quality matchup in the weekend league. You're welcome. We've got to get things started out right. We have the FIFA forecast, and it only makes sense with Team of the Season coming to a close. I mean, I know people have been opening their ultimate Team of the Season rewards. You've had packs, player picks, guaranteed deluxe. You can let us know what you've been packing if the FIFA gods have been on your side. But at the same time, in those comments, I'm looking at snubs. I'm looking at social media. Grealish, Madison, Alaba, Pereira. Who else is on your list that maybe should have got that upgrade? We should be talking about their blue foot item, putting on, and performance. I'd also like to add into this segment, common, FAQ, and it just seems like it aligns properly because we're gonna welcome UL1BARRI. He's good with the skill moves, I'm good with the skill moves. What are 3 skills you need to have? The 3 keys to success: drag back, fake shot, ball roll. All 3 of those have to be in your arsenal before you start getting into some of the additional intricacies, the 1-2s, the razzle dazzle. You're blowing by defenders. You have to master the intangibles. That's right, we're starting out with a drum roll, and we're talking about the 5 ways that you can get better results if you're playing against somebody who has a better team. In order to do this properly, we had to have a special guest that knows the game inside and out. My good friend, UL1BARRI. How is it hanging, my brother?
All good, Mike. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm ready to talk some FIFA 20 with you.
And I have not showcased my tips to UL1BARRI, so if he disagrees or if he has something to add, which I know he will have an opinion. Yeah, you're gonna let me know. Perfect. First tip: you go into that matchup. You're playing the weekend league, foot champs. You see your opponent's got a better team than you. You might have to play a little more conservative. You might have to play a formation that's a little more defensive. Most of us know multiple formations, especially if you're at the upper tier. And I'm not saying to park the bus. We already have enough bus drivers, way too many in fact. I'm not saying to play on drop back, but you might need to feel out the game a little bit to understand how aggressive you can actually play, or how balanced or how defensive, just depending on those matchups.
It's important to focus on what your opponent is bringing to the table, but I also like to think about like imposing your tactic, right, and your play style to your opponent. But I will say this, and you know me, we go way back. I'm talking like 2000, FIFA 10, FIFA 12. It was way more offensive, and now even if you're an attacking player, you have to adapt, play like 3 bars in depth and drop back. Like, you know, it's just a meta. Even if you're an offensive player, if you try an aggressive tactic, you'll get countered. So you have to watch that.
I'm still not co-signing the drop back tactic, even though it is effective at times in FIFA. But
make it balanced, but
yeah, you make it balanced, it's fine.
Depth. Like some people go like depth, 7 or 8.
Lower your depth.
You know?
Tip number 2, play simple. Don't complicate anything. If you're going up against an opposition and he has a much better team than you, or maybe you're going in with kind of a cheap team, you know you have an overpowered squad, it's not the best, you can't afford to make mistakes or have risk or reward in the midfield. You have to measure that out. You want to make sure when you take a gamble that it's going to lead to a goal scoring opportunity. It's
so important in FIFA 20 to be effective against a good player, like a solid player in defense, or even if he's not an amazing player, if he has a really good defensive tactic, you won't be able to have clear chances, like maybe 2 or 3 per half. So it's very important to make the most out of them, right? For that, I think it's so important to finish with the finesse shot. Like it's just by far, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree, but for me the finesse shot is the best way to finish in FIFA 20. Of course, sometimes you can go with a normal shot, but it just feels safer.
We might have a little back and forth on that then. It depends who's in your squad. Certain players have a lot of movement on their finesse shot, and then other guys just don't seem like they're capable. And it's almost as if we practice this, which we didn't, but that brings us right into tip number 3. You have to capitalize on your chances. And for me, a rule of thumb is to stay away from 50-50 shots. So don't shoot from outside the box.
No, never.
For the most part.
Not this year.
Yeah, it's just
no.
everything gets blocked. AI assistance everywhere. People are diving. It's low percentage. So kind of like UL1BARRI was saying, you might only get 3-4 chances a half versus a good opponent. You can't afford to sacrifice a chance by shooting from longer distances or in a location that maybe is not going to be a sure thing. You got to make sure you take the extra step, the extra dribble, the extra pass, even if it could be intercepted or your opponent can make a tackle, because if you beat them, you score. What's good shooting for corner kicks? Nothing. People also don't convert corners that well. It's not a super high percentage move.
The same with crossing, you know? Like crossing, you can score, as an exception, some goals by crossing or from long shots, but it's just not the best way to go, right? In FIFA 20, you usually score with your striker or your attacking mid.
I want to talk about squad building, because if you're looking to be an elite player, you have to analyze your opponent's team. And not only that, oh, this guy's got a better team than I have. That's not what's important here. It's like, all right, so he has a higher rated squad. He has certain players. How do I think he's going to attack? Where are there maybe weaknesses, or there's going to be space on the defensive end? And you can see that squad, so you can get a good idea. All right, I think he's going to play this formation. I think that he might try to go really fast down the right side or down the left side, or I don't like one of his defenders. I'm going to try to capitalize on that defender. I'm going to try to really focus on taking advantage of a defender that I personally don't believe in FIFA. And it's the point I almost want to bring up. It's not a water break. It's not a time to be distracted. When you go into a match over the weekend league, focus and really dive deep into your opponent's team. It will tell you so much about what kind of match you could be in for.
Yeah, but also, I agree on what you're saying, Mike, but also, I think sometimes people, when they see a super team, they're already losing, right? They think like, there's no way, like he has so much advantage. Whereas I will say this year, it is always important to have a super team, etc., but you can see in cards like Gullit or Vieira, they're not as overpowered as previous years. They're just not, and people are like, oh yeah, well that's because you have Gullit. It's about talent as well. And also there are tons of meta cards, gold cards like Van Dijk or Neymar or Mbappe. Like you don't need more than those, like honestly. Play your game, disrespect him, right? In the game, like just keep the ball, and if he pressures you, because so many people go crazy when they get pressured, and once you get through that pressure against a super team, you can actually counter this team.
Tip number 5, our final tip, especially if you're going up against a team that's better than yours, at least on paper, have 3 substitutes ready, because if you make attacking changes, you might completely even the game out. Even if he had higher rated players or better players, because you have fresh players coming on, and sometimes other players don't make substitutions. It might seem obvious, but if the flow is going well for me, I don't usually like to change anything. I don't want to change formation. I don't want to change my players. Even if I was drawing 1-1 or 0-0, but I feel like it's in my favor, I won't make those adjustments. So maybe by you bringing on those attacking players, you then are able to even out the playing field in terms of the matchups, because you have fresh legs versus guys that have already ran around for 65, 70 minutes.
It can be a game changer. I agree. To have good subs, of course, it's better if you focus on attacking players for subs, because sometimes I see some benches and they have like center mids, right back or something like that. It's like, focus on your attacking players to give them like fresh legs and to be like, they have to be fast. Of course, like for instance, Saint-Maximin, or I don't know how to pronounce that in Spanish.
I call him the Saint.
Yeah.
The Saint.
Saint. All right, so
he's always there on Sundays. He shows up every Sunday.
Yeah,
Saint.
he's a very annoying sub. You have to respect that, because he's gonna come out fresh and he's gonna go all the wing, no problem. But
you're like this. I still use Chucky Lozano all day.
Yeah, he's my guy. The foot birthday, right?
Yeah, foot birthday, man. He's the real deal.
That's a good card. That's exactly the kind of sub you want, like a wing player who's really fast, who can be a game changer in the last minutes.
Well, that wraps up our tips to help you get better weekend league results. And now it's time for the guest showdown. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been doing that well in these, so I'm kind of hoping this is gonna be the turnaround. Let's do it.
Yeah.
As with every episode, a guest showdown is necessary. Today is apparently your club slogan challenge. I don't trust UL1BARRI. UL1BARRI doesn't trust me, so we have a notepad. We're gonna write down the answers.
Yeah.
And we'll see how many we get right or wrong. And I think, I haven't looked up anything, but I think some of these are in different languages, which will make for an additional challenge.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And at least one of them is in Spanish. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know what language 2 of these are in. Like, I don't even know the language. So that's great. So let's get started then. First one, I think we're both gonna know. You'll never walk alone. Most football fans should have this.
Yeah.
Also a very successful club at the moment. Sorry, my handwriting is all over the place on that. Just put it on screen. Have you like shown your thing on screen?
Yeah, there you go.
If we miss that, you'd be in for a long day, buddy. Second one is Mia Semia. I don't know if I did that perfectly, but I do know where it's from, so I'm looking good here. Two, feeling good. Mia Samia. Even though I'm sure I'm gonna miss some of these, would you like a tip? A tip. I'll give you a hint.
All right.
All right. You ready for this?
Yeah.
It's in the Bundesliga. Pick a team.
I'd rather not say than mess up. You know. Like...
That's fine. I got you. I'm glad I knew that one, so I'm shooting. I'm two for two right now. Our third club slogan: "To dare is to do." This sounds almost like a Zlatan quote, honestly.
To dare is to do.
Yes. All right, I've got an answer. I think it is very incorrect, and because we're doing the whole storytelling, I'm gonna tell you. I chose this club because it's like right by the beach. So maybe like you're daring to do, like you had to go do something on the beach.
Right, in the beach, it's all about
dares.
Exactly.
Right, and it's close to Ibiza, so I've gone with. I put it up on screen. Valencia is my choice. I think that is completely incorrect.
I got nothing.
I don't know if I should know that or not. Like, don't get me wrong, I've watched a lot of Premier League, but I'm not like a Tottenham hardcore. I don't know. I feel like the people still get on me on that. Hey, we didn't look these up, all right? Put me on the spot. Hello Madrid.
Hello Madrid.
Hello Madrid. Yeah.
I'm wearing the Real Madrid shirt.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say I'm writing it down as we speak, but like we're not missing that one.
Do I have to write it down, or can I just show my?
I think you're good on that one. You just went out loud. I think. Look, that's probably. I don't think there's gonna be an easier one than that on here. It's just like very straightforward. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna know the next one too. I'm sure of it. Even though I'm gonna ruin the Spanish horribly, they're gonna hate me.
Go for it.
What is it? Més que un club. I know what it means. I know what that means.
More than a club.
It means more than a club. Anyways, well, we both know what it is. I'll write it down for the sake of writing it down. It's a friendly follow-up
to what we just said. It's in Catalan, actually, which is a combination of Spanish and French.
Yeah, I don't... My writing on this is all bad, but it's Barcelona. Like, you better have that one.
Yeah.
I've been to Camp Nou as well. Italians will be mad at me because I think this is Italian. Fino alla fine. Fino. I know where it's from as well, actually.
I honestly don't know, but... I'll just go, because of the shirt I have behind me of El Diego, of Maradona, I'll just go for, like, this is like taking a shot from the midfield.
All right. Victoria, Concordia, Crescent.
I'm trying to say Marsella. Like.
Oh, you went Marseille? I went Lyon. Our next selection here is Ecte Liabe.
I have no idea, so I'm just gonna go.
I don't care. Neither
Lazio.
do I. So I'm going. They're all been big clubs. I'm helping you out. Everything's been a big club, so I'm sure that's not changing. I went Napoli because you went Napoli, so I felt like it was time for us to do this. And last but not least, Nil Satis Nisi Optimum. So I know what this is, even though I'm saying it horribly. But the only reason I know what it is because I should know what it is.
All right.
If that helps you, if that's a hint for you.
I mean, I hear Latin. I'm just inclined to say amen, so I'll just go with
Baby
you're gonna
Jesus
pray.
FC. Baby Jesus FC. Yeah. Probably the glasses on too for
That's
that.
Right.
Great. On that note, that is the end of this episode of Closing Belle. Thank you so much, UL1BARRI, for coming on. Where can the people follow you?
Yeah, they can find me on Twitter or Twitch, YouTube as... I mean, let me get my Bayern Munich shirt again. You can find me as UL1BARRI.
Remember, we're going to have an episode every single week, so expect more content coming out ASAP. And talk to us. If there's any other tips that you have, if you want some back and forth, you need us to elaborate, we're there. We got you covered. Until next time, peace.